an exciting moment in the world of cricket in coming days. As the Nigerian Cricket Federation, it's planned the second edition of all-female cricket invitational tournament, and this is one of the biggest invitational tournament from Nigeria, and we hope that this tournament will bring the best when it comes to cricket and develop women cricket. But discussing this with me is the P.R.O of Nigerian Cricket Federation, talking about Musa Ehizoje, who is based in Abuja, and he will be talking about what exciting moments should we be expecting from the coming tournament. Good evening, Musa.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be with you once again.
Yes, let's go straight to the point, and let's see how much you can tell people out there in regards to the coming invitational tournament. Tell us what we should be expecting in Lagos, not far away from where we are right now, and tell us more about the tournament.
Thank you very much. When the board came when the board was inaugurated, they had 5 key strategic pillars for development, for which female cricket development was one of them. And also the International Cricket Council has said a 50-50 inclusion when it comes to the development of cricket across the world, which means 50% inclusion for boys and 50% inclusion for girls. So that has made the Nigerian Cricket Federation conscious enough to host domestic and international tournaments. The first time we had an international friendly was in 2019. And then last year we had the edition of this Women's Invitational. And this year it's going to be the 3rd edition of having the girls play in Lagos in an international T20 series. What is expected in Lagos, as usual, is the converging of teams from Africa, mainly West Africa, and of course, Rwanda. Last year, when we had the tournament, Rwanda were defending champions. Nigeria lost narrowly. But again, the overall essence is to have our women's cricket compete at the highest level, increase their ranking, increase our scorecard with the International Cricket Council. And we believe genuinely that the route for Nigeria to be placed on the world map is shorter and quicker with women's cricket, especially when we have talents in abundance from the grassroots stage, the under 17, the under 19, and of course the senior women's team. So in Lagos, it's going to be a battle of 6 days, 6 match days, 5 countries, and beyond playing for the rankings and of course the scorecard for ICC, these teams are also playing for bragging rights and of course trying to overall improve the women's cricket participation in Nigeria and of course in Africa.
So yeah, what's between the last tournament and now? What are the major landmark or achievements the Federation has done for women's cricket? I'm sure before the last time Rwanda won it and now, I'm sure it's been spanned, I think, a year or more than. What has been the major landmark or what has been invested in the women in terms of cricket in Nigeria before this tournament?
Since the last tournament, the ladies have been very busy. We've had an under-19 World Cup qualifier, which our girls participated in and narrowly lost out from qualifying from the World Cup. We've also had an internal women's tournament where we try to pick the best. And of course, we've had the grassroots national under-17 zonal championship. Before now, that's the PWC under-17, where it's girls and boys participate. So the pathway is actually having them to play at the under-17 level, select them for the national team, and select them for the national under-19, and of course the senior women. So the Federation has invested heavily since that time till now in selecting the best from 40 young girls to 22 and eventually 16. And they've been playing series of matches, and most of these girls in the national team also participate at the South-South Women's League. It's the only cricket league in the country, in the whole of Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa, West Africa. The only women's league in the South-South where they have 8 clubs participating across the South, and most of these players play in that South Women's League in readiness for tournaments. And of course, when it comes to infrastructure and equipment, in Benin, for example, there's a cricket oval, a tough cricket oval that was built privately and dedicated to women's cricket alone. It's at Yoba College. It is for women's cricket. There's a changing room. There's a wonderful facility there for women's cricket. And the girls have been camping there, and they've been trying to improve. And of course, they know where they left off last season, where they fell out, and they know what they have to do this time to get there. So a lot of investment has gone in, but of course, the manifestation of those investments will be seen in this tournament and other tournaments to come in June and other parts of the later part of the year.
Yeah, well said. But has this translated to our dominance in women cricket in Africa? Because we know that there are other cricket federation in terms of women cricket that are better than us. Has this moved off to where we were before all these investment and developmental programs? Where are we right now, heading towards the tournament that is taking place in a few days now?
Okay, in Africa, Nigeria is currently ranked 8th in Africa in the women's category, and that is a huge improvement, because if you take out the likes of South Africa, Zimbabwe, who are full member nations, test nations, and they see that Nigeria is 6th in women's cricket. And there's been a huge improvement, because in the West Africa, Nigeria is number 1, and we only have to wrestle with East Africa and the Southern Africa. Of course, North Africa, Nigeria also comes on top there. So the more games you play, the more teams you win that are ahead of you, the more you tend to climb up the ranking. But again, the ranking is one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is how much development in terms of skills, in terms of training, in terms of applications that these girls have undergone and how it has manifested in them. And the National Sports Festival was also a revelation for getting new talent in the last edition. So overall, what we can say is that 8th position in Africa is wonderful, but we're not satisfied. We want to be able to be counted between the first and the third. And we believe we can do it because we have the talent, we're investing so much, and the girls are working hard. And of course, in the near future, they are all going to be signed into a professional contract with the federation where they earn, and of course, they can make cricket their purely business and their sole way of earning and playing for the country. You earn and play for the country, not just when they call you up for tournaments, you get allowances. No, you'll be signed into a contract. All of these efforts are in a way to improve our ranking and to move higher the ladder from 8th position to at least 4th or 3rd in the very near future.
Yes, well, now let's look at this, and that's what, ever since the reporting of cricket, it has always been Lagos, Edo, Kaduna, and one state in the east. Why has it remained so? And if it hasn't remained so, tell me which other state has really embraced the sport cricket apart from Lagos, Edo, if I'm not mistaken, Kaduna, and a particular state from the southeast that I've forgotten right now. Why has it remained like that? And what did this state do that when it comes to cricket, these are the states we keep mentioning all the time? Why have we not gone beyond just this perhaps 5 states?
Yeah, I'm very happy you asked this question, because it's an opportunity to present the facts. And how do you get these facts? When you host competitions, especially domestic competition, the number of states that participate is how you use to measure whether or not cricket is growing. I can tell you for a fact that during the Under-17 Championship, we had 31 states for boys participating and 27 states for girls participating. So cricket is not just in 5 states anymore. Yes, Edo, Lagos, Anambra, Ebonyi, and Kaduna have been powerhouses when it comes to cricket. But it is no longer like that because, for example, now dominance in the southwest from Lagos, it's not like that. Oyo State has come up. Ogun State is still a powerhouse, and every single state in the south, in the southwest, in the southeast, every single state in those regions play. I can tell you for a fact that in the northeast, despite the challenges, we have Borno, we have Gombe, and we have Taraba playing cricket, and they've been active for the last 3 years in our at our under 17 level. In the north central, we have 6 states out of the 7. In the northwest, we have all the states playing cricket. So, as a matter of fact, the dynamics, of course, the powerhouses will remain for some time, but now you find states like Niger State breaking into the North Central team for the under 17. You see Gombe State and Taraba State presenting a team. You see even Ebonyi has become the powerhouse in the south, is taking it from Anambra. And all of this goes to show that recent information is that 31 states actively play cricket and 27 states actually play for the girls and 31 states for the boys. So it is not business as usual, but like I said, you can't take away the investment over time on all these states. Predominantly, they've played it for 30, 40 years. You expect a cricketing culture to be there.
Okay.
But overall, the spread of the game right now has been so rampant like never before. And that is what the board of the federation wants to consolidate on, to ensure that